Can you lose weight without self-discipline? Is it actually that you're not disciplined enough and that's why you're not losing weight? And is it that all the people who are in great shape, they are the epitome of self-discipline? Actually, the answers may surprise you. It's probably the opposite of what you think. Why? That's what we're gonna cover in this video. But before we go there, click the subscribe button below, because on this channel, you're gonna learn how to lose all the weight that you want, build muscle and get ripped and get in the best shape ever and have, through the roof, all day energy as a kick-ass successful entrepreneur without all the BS that this industry tells you to do, like steroids, starving yourself, whatever stupid fad diets. You don't need any of that. In this channel, or on this channel, you're gonna learn how to do it right and how to do it while actually having an enjoyable experience while you're getting in the best shape of your life. So click that subscribe button below and let's go. What's up, everyone? This is Coach Amir from 7figurebody.com, and in today's video, one of the most interesting topics that I probably get asked the most about is self-discipline. A lot of people come to me and say, hey coach, I've been trying to lose weight for 20 years. I've tried every diet out there. I just don't have it in me. I'm like, what do you not have? They're like, I don't have enough self-discipline. I see this guy, he's working out at 4 a.m. and he's the David Goggins of whatever. And that's why he's in great shape and I'm not. And actually, this is not true. Guys, a book that actually changed my view on a lot of these things is called The Willpower Instinct. I highly suggest it, but here's a short summary. It basically says that, willpower or self-discipline, which are basically the same things, is not what is the difference between somebody succeeding or not. It's not the difference between somebody losing weight or not, or being in great shape or not. It's not that. The biggest driver of human behavior is environment. This is where I want you to focus majority of your time and effort and energy when trying to lose weight, is create an environment that does not tempt you versus trying to be this self-discipline, textbook perfect example robot. And that's how you're going to lose weight, because that always fails. If you look at the last 100 plus years or whatever of psychology research, summarized in 2 words or 3, self-discipline fails. That's the summary of it all. If you rely on self-discipline, you will fail. So don't, okay? Now, how is this possible? Really? Is that what you're saying? How is this even possible? I know that I'm not self-disciplined, that other person is, that's why they're in great shape. No, this book actually showed you. And by the way, this book is written by the woman who's a PhD, like an actual scientist in the field with a bunch of studies that prove this again and again and again. And here's the kicker. The craziest thing you will ever hear probably in this self-discipline niche is people who consider themselves to be and who are considered by others to be highly self-disciplined are actually the most likely to give in to temptations when they are exposed to them. How can that be? Am I not the epitome of self-discipline? And I think about it, but hey, I figured that every time when I go to a party or some kind of all-you-can-eat place, I eat so much that I can't walk after that. I feel sick. That's how much I love food and I love eating. So I'm like, oh my God, how can that be? That is insane, but it's actually true. So I would consider myself to be a very highly disciplined person. Everybody who knows me would be like, this guy was a pro athlete. He executes like there's no tomorrow. I am the epitome of self-discipline. And I'm like, I'll take it, great. But in reality, what is it that is allowing me to do these things that other people would consider to be very high self-discipline? It's environment. It is the schedule that I have that I'm like, this is the schedule, I'm going to do this. And I create an environment that supports that versus the environment that takes me away from that. I'm actually not tempted to, I always say, I do this for a living, I stay in great shape, yada, yada. If somebody brought me a, pizza at 9 p.m. every day and a tub of ice cream, I would be obese in a couple of months, right? I would not allow that to somebody to be bringing that, because remember, self-discipline and willpower are just like the muscle. You train them and they get better, sure, but also if you train them in this short period of time, they kind of run out. Like if you run for 3 hours or 2, eventually you can't run anymore, you'll pass out. So the same thing is with willpower. As we sleep, we mentally and physically recover. Your willpower and the self-discipline muscle, if you will, is now strong. Every decision we make from the moment we wake up, what kind of shoes I'm going to put on, am I going to go left or right, what kind of breakfast I'm going to have, all of these, like imagine you have these chips that are your self-discipline chips for the day. Every decision you make, you take a little bit of that chip, little bit, and every decision we make takes a little bit out of that, which is why I wholeheartedly agree with the idea that the most productive time for most humans is going to be when you just wake up. The first 2 to 3 hours, that's when you should do most important work for the day. Highest return activities that you can do should be put there. Yes, there's some people who say, oh, I'm a night owl, I can't do shit in the morning. Sure, okay. But generally speaking, you are the most likely to do the things that you want to do or need to do, but maybe not necessarily want to do in the morning when your self-discipline willpower muscle is at its fullest and strongest, because that's when you are the most rested. Okay. So then the answer is, how do you lose weight without any self-discipline? It's basically create an environment that supports the activities and things you need to do in order to lose weight, and stay away or create an environment that doesn't tempt you and doesn't put basically, pizza and ice cream at 9 p.m. every day. Because remember, as I said, as we go through the day, our self-discipline and willpower muscle weakens. And by some research shows by 2 or 3 p.m., we've made so many decisions that at that point, we're basically like, have no defenses whatsoever. That's why most people don't eat pizza and ice cream and burgers and whatever at 8 a.m. They eat it at 10 p.m., right? When our defenses are down, we can't really have any, resistance to things that we know we shouldn't eat, but we do eat them. Why do you eat ice cream and, whatever other things at 10 p.m.? Because you're much less likely at that time to be able to resist them. That's why. So then how do you win? How do you lose weight? How do you build muscle? How do you build a business? How do you do all of these other things without being a, self-disciplined robot? Is by creating an environment that doesn't tempt you. What does that mean for, let's say, for weight loss? Well, if you open your fridge, you should have 3 to 5 protein sources ready to eat. You should have cut up vegetables ready to eat, or have it delivered to you. It doesn't matter, but make it easy for you to eat the right things that you need to eat, and make it really hard to not eat that. Make it really hard to eat things that are not good. Basically, don't bring junk food to the house, because if you do, guess what? Somebody's going to eat it. Even if you don't, somebody else in your house is getting overweight because of it, right? So don't buy junk food. Don't bring it to the house. If you have a, Costco sized pie, like the pumpkin pie, like it's 5 people can eat it. If I bring that into the house, I'm going to eat half of it in one day, right? So the best thing to do is, when you want something like that, it's totally fine to have it, and you should. And you just calculate it into your calories and it's fine. You can have anything you want, but ideally you would go out and eat that outside and not bring it home. Or if you're bringing it home, bring the amount that you're planning to eat that one time, and that's it. Don't bring the whole cake. Because what's going to happen if you bring the whole cake? You're not going to at some point decide, well, this is bad for me, I'm going to take half of this cake and throw it away. You probably won't, and you shouldn't do that. What you should do is go buy one piece. Eat that right there, whether it be home or outside, and there you go. That's fine, right? That's the way, the simple, just, easy to understand way for somebody to create an environment that doesn't tempt them, and create an environment that makes them much more likely to win. Okay, so have vegetables, have lean protein, and some protein bars and powders easily available, readily available at any time. Like, don't get home after a long day at work and there's nothing to eat, so you have to order takeout. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to have a 1,500 to 200 calorie meal for that dinner. That's how we blow the diet, right? So do you need self-discipline? And again, here's the thing about self-discipline. Is it important? Yes. But you build self-discipline organically by creating an environment that doesn't tempt you and then supports good behaviors that lead us to the outcomes that we want. And then eventually that becomes a habit. And then that habit in your lifestyle, people call self-discipline, right? So it's actually going, like it's putting the cart in front of the horse, because they're saying, be self-disciplined now, like build self-discipline and have it tomorrow. It's like, good luck. It doesn't work that way. It's just like confidence. You have to work up to that, right? So be really confident in running marathons. You're like, but I can't even run a mile. Okay, what do? You run 1/4 of a mile, and then more than that, half a mile, more than that, 1 mile. Eventually you're running 5 miles, eventually you're running 10, eventually you run a marathon. And then after you run a marathon 20 times, You don't have to be confident to be able to run a marathon. You've already done it so many times. And then other people are looking at him or her, they are so self-disciplined. And you're like, no, I'm just running. Like, that's what I do. It became a habit, right? Same thing with diet, same thing with going to the gym. One of the hardest things for humans seems to be building a habit of daily exercise. Again, you don't need to exercise daily. You just need to be active daily. Should you be doing up to 10,000 steps every day? Yes, it's not official exercise. It's just being active. But building that habit of doing twice a week, 3 times a week in the gym, is that important? Yes, you should focus on it and build that habit. And eventually you're doing that because it's just part of your identity. It's part of who you are. And then people call yourself, like I just spent 2 weeks in Utah and my host there and all the people are, oh, it's so easy for you because you're self-disciplined. And I'm like, am I self-disciplined? Like if we go to a pizza place right now, I'll have more than all of you combined because I love pizza. But I don't do that every day because I don't go to a pizza place every day. So am I then really self-disciplined? No, it's just, I just created an environment and it became part of my identity, all these habits that are now leading me to the outcomes that I want and not towards the outcomes that I don't want. So anyways, guys, hope this helped you. Hope you now see a different kind of view of what self-discipline is and how to get there. And is it really important for you to achieve anything you want? No, it's not. It starts by you creating an environment that actually supports building habits until they're automated. Then all of a sudden you have self-discipline and other people call you a self-disciplined robot when you're just like, no, actually, it's just what I do naturally because that became a part of my identity. So anyways, hope you like this video. Please click the share and give it a thumbs up. You know that this guys really helps grow the channel. And thank you so much for your support. The channel has been growing really well. So I really, really appreciate and love you all for that. Thank you. And please share this with an entrepreneur that you know so they can actually not think that they suck because they don't have, robot-like self-discipline. Instead, here's an easy way to actually build it and then achieve pretty much everything we want. So thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Cheers.